Hey guys, Toxic here. We got some more Bile and Blood campaign. This is mission 4B. With me in the Bile and Blood campaign is Seb.
Hello there.
So today we have a special mission here. We're actually using the Zone Mortalis rules. I managed to whip something up in Vassal that does look something like Zone Mortalis. So we're gonna basically use the Zone Mortalis rules here and have some fun. So we got So this is a mission where Shae Vex has kind of picked up a psychic presence in the underhive of Hive Hastus. Now, she basically informed Corvus of this, and he told her to go investigate it, that they wouldn't take any chances, so while he's dealing with the Warp Rift, she would come down here and deal with this. Sven Stormslayer, he sent his more inexperienced troops with Corvus and himself to deal with the Warp Rift, and sent some Wolf Guard Terminators down with Shae Vex, because kind of built for this, Space Hulk-ish close combat, kind of tight spaces fighting. And Seb, do you want to go over what you currently have?
Yeah, so obviously this is happening while the warp storm's happening, so this is a splinter group of the Visicrudes who have come down, and they're trying to poison the water and the kind of the sewage works of the Hive City. So we've got Toxicanus, or Toxic Anus, the Visicrude sorcerer, and his bodyguard of Plague Marines. We also have Savakoch, or Savage Cock, the Herald of Nurgle, with his retinue of Plague Marines, as well as some not very far infiltrating, but some infiltrating Nurglings. So essentially holding down the waterworks and hopefully bringing in more demons to clog up the Terminators.
And this is 1,000 points, right?
Yes, 1,000 points.
Because looking at it, it looks like I have, a bunch of Terminators, and then it doesn't look like you have too much there on your side. But you got what, two heralds and a sorcerer?
One herald and a sorcerer.
And these are Plague Marines, so they're pretty costly. But so we'll see how it goes. Seb did manage to steal the initiative, so the Visicrudes, the remaining Visicrudes and their demon contingent has been alerted to the incoming Space Wolves.
Yeah, chattering Nurglings have given away your position.
Yep. So we're gonna go to turn 1 Chaos coming up. Okay, so end of turn 1 Chaos, Seb.
So basically everyone is bunning it down and very much trying to protect the warlords and the water supply, but my sorcerer did manage to get off incursion, so we have some plague drones represented by the Furies launching themselves at the left hand Terminators coming up, so they'll be dealing with those as they come through the door. The Herald did in fact fail, but didn't peril because he's a demon. Happy days.
Yep. And we're playing basically we're playing kind of like Slay the Warlord, but there's two warlords, so it's going to be basically, if we will play the random turn limits, but if I can slay the warlord, both of them within that time, I win. If I can't, then they've managed to either get away or push the wolves back. We'll see what happens. So just because we didn't really mention that before. Yeah. So Space Wolves turn 1 coming up. Okay, end of Space Wolves turn 1, not too much happened. Two squads on the right moved up, squad on the left moved up, and took a couple shots with the Stormbolters at the Plague Drones, managing to deal a wound, and they're just kind of bracing for impact as they can see them hurtling towards them, and the other ones are just kind of rushing up as fast as they can, knowing that now that the demons and Chaos Marines have been alerted to their presence, that they don't have much time to get this mission done, because they don't know whether or not they've had contact with what's happening on the surface. So if so they don't, depending on how that's going, obviously they're gonna either stay and fight or maybe even try and flee to keep themselves alive, depending. So since they don't know what's happening down here, well, time is precious.
This is nice and isolated from what's going on above.
So Chaos turn 2 coming up. Okay, so we're end of Chaos turn 2. I'll throw it over to Seb, and you can recap you.
So everyone's still consolidating, holding their positions. The Herald and Sorcerer attempted to bring in more demons, but the warp was not responding. The plague drones came around the left side, launched themselves forward, and threw themselves into attack against the Space Wolves. One of them was toasted by a flamer in Overwatch before 2 more got in. One was torn apart by wolf claws, but not before it managed to take one of the Terminators out. And then finally, what was your unwieldy weapon?
There was a Frost Axe and a Thunder Hammer.
So the Frost Axe and Thunder Hammer made...
just a Power Axe.
Power Axe. Made another wound on the Plague Drone, and through loneliness, sadness, and demonic instability, it popped back into the warp and gave up. But 1 Terminator down for a free unit is not bad.
Yeah, that's insane. So we'll go to Space Wolves turn 2 now. Okay, so Space Wolves turn 2, doesn't seem like much happens for them. Basically they moved up, these guys got to the door but didn't have enough movement to open it, so in preparation, Agnar the Red, the Rune Priest that they sent down, cast Hammerhand on his squad to increase their strength to get them ready just in case something bursts through the door. So we'll go into Chaos turn 3. Okay, so end of Chaos turn 3? 3, yeah. Seb, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, so the Nurglings in the middle and on the right decided to start moving out to start taking on the Terminators before they could open up on them. So if the ones in the middle opened up the door, and the ones on the right peeked around the corner. We had the Herald and Sorcerer attempt to bring in some Plague Bearers and some Plague Drones, but instead all they managed to do was perils themselves, so they are both down to 1 wound each, which means they can't really do any more psychic powers without risking giving Toxic the win, although the Herald does have a chance to become possessed and become a greater demon, which would be epic and possibly game-changing.
Definitely.
Yeah. The Nurglings threw themselves suicidally against the Terminator armor. Both squads managed to completely cook one base of Nurglings, and I imagine them screaming as they sizzled. Others were cut down by Stormbolter Fire and other Overwatch before getting into combat. They did manage to get a few attacks off, but didn't really do...
One managed to kill a Terminator.
They did kill a Terminator, yeah. They took one down, so we got 2 Terminators down.
The Hammerhand was kind of...
a lot.
Yeah, the Hammerhand was really what did it on the middle squad, because they wouldn't have managed to cut through it if it wasn't for that Hammerhand.
Yeah.
Because they... Yeah.
The usual weapons were taking a few out, but the Nurglings were ducking around and kind of doing okay. But it's when the force and power weapons came out and the wolf claws, they really just cut them to ribbons. But the Terminators are so covered in demonic matter and blood and guts that they're just slipping around and not really managing to consolidate very far at all.
Not at all. So we're gonna go into Space Wolves turn 3. Okay, so end of Space Wolves turn 3. I may have made a very huge tactical error, but in my excitement, I really wanted to get the Vortex of Doom off. So the Agnar the Red casts the Vortex of Doom, managed to take out a couple of Plague Bearers. His squad fired in, killed some more. They decided not to charge, as not to get close to the Vortex. The other squads just kind of moved up and again did terrible on their on their what do you call it?
Running.
Yeah, on their running. So very slow
The whole
going.
place is slick with just slime and mold and it's just Nurgle's rot has infested this place.
So we got at least a definite 2 more turns. So we'll see what happens. So Chaos turn 4 coming up. Okay, so end of Chaos turn 4. Seb.
So the Plague Bearers started to come forward to try and take on the Terminators, while the Herald decided to kind of suck himself up. Savakoch, he tried to harness the powers of the warp to become a greater demon, only to end up exploding in horrific mouldering flesh and tattered warp bones. It was just not good. So he died, sadly. But then they moved on, and in their true, beautiful, Nurgly way, they were slow and ponderous and refused to actually charge the Terminators. So my sorcerer, Toxicanus, and his Plague Marines kind of realised that they needed to get in to try and cover them. They burst in, opened up their bolt pistols, and took down one of the Terminators before getting into combat and having one of the most pathetic and ineffectual combats on both sides I think we've ever seen when we've been playing 40k. There were ones everywhere. There was just pouring each other's armor, essentially. It was not good.
But Toxicanus,
although
yeah,
Toxicanus did manage to unforced, but did manage to get his axe out and cut down the Rune Priest. So, as pathetic as the combat was, my sorcerer did cut down his Psyker, so that was good.
Yeah, which I think that's the most any of your sorcerers have done. Is
that and the incursion of plague drones we had earlier.
No, I mean like in all games so far. It kind of seems like
damage. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna go on to Space Wolf turn 4.
And one warlord down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, end of Space Wolves turn 4. The wolves that did retreat from this combat managed to, well, they regrouped. A couple of snapshots didn't do anything. Inquisitor Shae Vex moved in. She had to run through the door though, so that didn't really get to do anything once she was through. These guys are slowly plodding along up on the left. So yeah, really uneventful Space Wolf turns, unfortunately, but we're going to go into Chaos turn 5, so this could potentially be the last turn. So if that sorcerer can stay alive, the Visissa Cruise lives on in Underhive. Okay, so end of Chaos turn 5. Kind of been a long turn, but I'll pass it over to Seb, see if he remembers.
So we had the Plague Bearers? Yeah, well, you do the Plague Bearers first. I meant Plague Marines, but Plague Bearers came on to take on the Inquisitor and her retinue on the right, and ended up getting themselves all mulched very much by Terminator armor and Terminator weapons, which was not good. So they were slaughtered to a demon. And the Plague Marines and Sorcerer followed the regrouping Terminators in the middle and took them on again in close combat after firing all their bolt pistols at them, and managed to cut down another one, I believe, in the combat.
Yep. So we're on to turn 5.
Turn 5.
Yeah. Then it might be decided here because you will have to challenge with your sorcerer. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
It's not looking good though. So Space Wolf turn 5. Okay, end of Space Wolves turn 5. The other Space Wolves came in to deal with the squad of Plague Marines,
Plague Marines, yeah.
And did some, a lot more damage. Inquisitor Shae Vex, she challenged the sorcerer into combat. It didn't go so well for her. She did manage to wound him, but his his invulnerable save, his I don't want to say
Aura of Dark Glory.
His Aura of Dark Glory managed to keep him alive. So we'll see what happens now if the game ends or not. So Seb, you want to roll that d6?
I will indeed. Oh
It does keep going.
no!
Okay, so we'll be back with turn
Very
6.
short
Yeah.
chaos turn 6.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so end of turn 6, chaos. Helps because Shae was kind of outmatched by Toxicanus, and the Space Wolves had to come in and kind of help her, but they managed to finish off the rest of the Plague Marines and then come in and finish off the Sorcerer. So that is a Space Wolf win, as they managed to find the rest of the Viscera crews, take them out, and also stop the little demonic incursion they had going in the underhive. So we will be rolling to see if Toxicanus is he's a minor character, so he does need a 6 to die. He wasn't instant deathed. Actually, he was, because he's toughness 5, so he wasn't. But you did lose the match, so it's +1 to the roll, so a d6. And he dies.
Oh, Toxicanus, Sabocerus, Tanglefoot, and even
Nalakian.
minor characters. Nalakian, yeah. Like,
Bob.
so many.
Yep. So yeah,
I just hope that wound in your Inquisitor festers and she goes insane.
yeah. So we'll have to see what happens in the next part 5. We'll do a story time of that. Will come out, shortly, and we'll go over what could possibly be the last mission in the Bile and Blood campaign. Any words, Seb?
Devastated. Just having so much fun though, and using the Zone Mortalis board was awesome amount of fun, and the narrative that's going on, and I think we'll have a lot more fun with campaigns in the future. But Toxicanus took a licking and gave some damage.
Yeah.
Gave out some pain. Which
Took
felt
a.
good.
Oh, that's why I got to roll for that rune priest to see if he Agnar the Red. He's just a minor character. A 3, so he's minorly wounded.
Okay.
Yeah, so he might be back. We'll see.
But yeah, my fermenters need to go back into training. Maybe just attack a few more smaller operations. Get a bit more Mjod on. Get the Viscera training at the arts of actually summoning. Because is it 3 units they've summoned so far? And obviously at this point the Viscera are gone. They're back to the ships in disgrace.
Yeah, the main one of the Viscera crews is dead. His top sorcerers are dead.
Even his demons that he summoned weren't very good at summoning.
Yeah, not much of a force multiplier, but it definitely sets us up for campaigns in the future, though. Maybe some smaller skirmish kind of style games. With the fermenters trying to get their groove back.
Definitely, and it just lends itself wonderfully to the fact that I've just thrown down so much money making them a massive actual force on the tabletop. But it's all good fun.
Good fun, yeah. I mean, this mission was a blast. I had a lot of fun playing in the Zone Mortalis. It was great. I mean, it looks good from what we were managed to do, and it played really, really fun. I was impressed. I would definitely play this again. In fact, we may have to do another mission. We'll see. But yeah, we got stuff, like we got just campaigns and campaigns in the works. So
yeah, keep churning these out.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was mission 4B. We'll see you next time with story time. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Oh yeah, I should probably do a proper outro for this one. So yeah, once again, this has been a Bile and Blood campaign. Okay, here we go. Once again, this has been a Bile and Blood campaign by Allies Index. With me in the Bile and Blood campaign is Seb.
Praise Nurgle.
Like always, I'm Toxic.
Don't praise him.
You can if you want to. Check out alliesindex.com for more geeky gaming goodness. But like always, have a good one.